Let's talk about Dangote Cement, here keeping its eyes on 15 countries around the world, 13 or so of them on the continent, and one in the Asia region, that's Nepal. But talking about this, Dangote Cement flagged off the $160 million investment in Cameroon last Thursday. And you can see there on your TV screen some images of what we put together. This facility is a little bit smaller than what we had in Zambia. But this is also 1.5 million metric tons per annum facility. There's another bit of a jetty attached to this where you find the freighting of the cement products, and you have the country, Cameroon's prime minister there. You can see him there with the entourage and the rest of Nigeria team, some of the businessmen and investment community. Taking a look at this very multi-million dollar facility. This is the first part of it in Yaoundé, the commercial capital of Cameroon. By air, that's about 15-20 minutes from Calabar, if you want to go through that. So this is one of the closest city to outposts to Nigeria as you step into Central Africa. Then, of course, Aliko Dangote says there will be another facility in Yaoundé. This is in Douala. Another facility coming up in Yaoundé in about 2 years' time to get cement, which is very critical to building roads and infrastructure. And if you are in Douala, if you've ever been there in Yaoundé, you would know there's a serious infrastructure deficit, and cement is going to be a critical part of that. If you talk about roads and bridges and what have you, you need a lot of infrastructure there. And that is what the government in Cameroon is doing by encouraging this kind of private overseas investment from within the African continent to do business in Nigeria's neighbor to the east, and that is Cameroon. There for you, the $160 million investment, Dangote Cement rolling out that business there for you. All right, now let's listen into this conversation I had with Aliko Dangote, who is the president and CEO of the Dangote Group, about, first, the deal signed last week with Sinoma in China. Why is Aliko Dangote leaning towards the Chinese when it comes to grinding the materials, the raw materials for cement? He says this will be 25 million metric tons facility or relationship. That will be the biggest in the world, not in Africa. In the world. This is worth about 5 or 6 billion US dollars. The total jobs to be created via this relationship will be ahead of 60,000. Let's listen into this very small conversation with him.
Sinoma has actually been our contractor. I mean, they are the same construction company that built this same plant here in Cameroon, in Nigeria, in almost all our plants, with the exception of the first three, which we had, which was the first two of Obajana and Benue. So there are other groups which mainly they're 100% German companies, but Sinoma is the main contractor that do the building, do the fabrication, do all the other lots, and we've had a very good relationship, with them. They are the only company also that we have which they can take the risk of being a turnkey contractor. And that's the reason why we had to now go with Sinoma to make sure that, yes, they are the main contractors. Because, see, we don't have the capability and the capacity to be in almost 16 countries, okay, building factories simultaneously. It's just not going to happen. But Sinoma has that capacity to do that. They have the people, they have the capacity, and what they normally do is that they take about 50% locals and 50% Chinese, and now they build. And they build them very fast, 24, 28 months maximum.
How much is this relationship worth, and how much in terms of job creation and diversification?
Well, there's quite a lot of jobs and diversification. By the time that we finish building most of these factories, we'll end up giving people a gainful employment of almost, 60 to 65,000 people, which is quite a lot, right from logistics, from the mines, from all the lots, So, I mean, it's a very, very huge this. And if you look at it today, really, what we have signed yesterday, is the largest ever cement contract to be signed in the world. 25 million to be built at the same time. That's additional capacity. So in the next few years, by 2020, we hope to be at about 100 million tons.
Talk to us about this Cameroon business. This looks a little bit, it's smaller than Zambia in terms of, why is this very important next door to Nigeria?
Well, it's very important. You know, Cameroon has been one and the same between us and Cameroon. You can see, even as, you know, if you look at it from here to Calabar, is maybe about 15-20 minutes by air. So really, we take Cameroon as part and parcel of Nigeria. The only thing is that, yes, you know, we're being demarcated by the white people, but we're still one and the same people. And, you know, we have had a very, very good reception here. They're taking us as good as Cameroonians, and that's why we feel very much at home. In fact, apart from this one we're commissioning today, one of the ones that we signed out of the 25 million is putting one in Yaoundé. And the process had already started. And, you know, I hope the same people will come and support us to commission the Yaoundé one in the next 2 years maximum.
How much is your investment in Cameroon?
Well, the investment in Cameroon, you know, we are doing also the jetty, is almost about $170 million because we are doing a 200-meter jetty at the, you know, so we'll not be using the port facility, we'll be using our own facility. So right from there, and you know, we have a mines, which is not here. So we do mine, you know, some of our raw material, which is part and parcel of the production of cement here.
And as the richest man in Africa, another $160 million birthing in Cameroon, next door to Nigeria. The total Dangote cement investment pan-Africa for the next 2015-2016 fiscal year will be about $1.6 billion US. So let's leave it at that. We'll keep an eye on Dangote cement footprints across the continent.